Good afternoon. Since 1982, Omaha Crime Stoppers has offered a $1,000 cash reward for information leading to the arrest and filing of charges of anyone who commits a homicide in our city. For more than 30 years, that $1,000 cash reward has been consistent. There have been a few occasions when we have had a special donation for a case. That was the situation with the Peyton Benson homicide. We had a donors come forward to offer a $25,000 reward. It led to more information coming into our program through tips, helped police with the investigation, led to arrests, and the reward payment was authorized by our board. Now, thanks to several generous donors, our reward program for violent crime is changing dramatically. Effective immediately, Omaha Crime Stoppers will offer a $25,000 cash reward for information leading to the arrest and filing of charges of anyone who commits a homicide in our city. That includes cases in the future, those being investigated now, such as the one that took place over the weekend, and those who remain unsolved on the books, including cold cases, such as the cases that you see on the podiums here. The message, thanks to these donors from Crime Stoppers, is simple. If you commit a murder in the city of Omaha, there is a $25,000 reward for your arrest. In addition, these donors are allowing us to offer a $10,000 reward for information leading to arrests and filing of charges of people who commit felony assault shootings but someone is not killed. In particular, we will focus on drive-by shootings and solving those. The Crime Stoppers Board feels that this much higher reward will lead to more tips, more good information for police, helping to lead to more arrests, and ultimately leading to a less violent city. I'd like to invite the mayor now for comments.
Thank you, Doug, and good afternoon. Chief Schmatter and I share many common goals to keep our city and our citizens safe. At the top of the list is our commitment to reducing violent crime. The donors who are making these Crime Stopper Awards possible share our commitment. I am grateful for their generous support and the message that we send together. Violent crime is a citywide problem, and it will take a citywide solution. We are focused on community policing and crime-fighting strategies to reduce gun violence. In the State of the City address that I gave in February, I said more needs to be done and more will be done. The Increased Crime Stoppers Reward Fund is an example of that. We know Crime Stoppers works. We believe these large rewards will help our police department close cases. We also believe it will be a deterrent. Public safety is my #1 priority and responsibility. It must be and always will be. With the support of private partners, we can work together to send a strong statement that our city is committed to solving crime, making arrests, and getting convictions. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Parrott. You know, Omaha is a wonderful place to live. Everywhere I go as chief, everybody asks me whether it's West Omaha, Midtown, North or South Omaha. Chief, what can we do to assist? I hear it all the time. And occasionally I throw out a few ideas. The increased award money is but one example of how our community is stepping forward to help reduce violent crime. The donors, they want to remain anonymous. They only want to help. I want to thank my command staff here today. They're lined up in the back for all their hard work. Omaha Police Department's a large engine, and they're the ones who steer this ship. Also want to thank some other notables. First of all, Crime Stoppers. I want to thank many of my community partners, Empowerment Network, North Omaha Ministerial Alliance is here, my respect. Also going to go through this list, Omaha 360 Empowerment Network, Impact One, Boys and Girls Club, Urban League, Keystone Treatment Center, City Council Member Gary Gernant is here with us, Congressman Lee Terry's office, Lozier Corporation, Mayor's office, Metro Community College, Joslyn Castle, West Hills Church, and many, many others that I may have missed. As a command staff, we are constantly analyzing crime trends in the city of Omaha. And I'm here to say that we have reduced the number of shootings in our city on a downward trend from 2012 to 2013, and so far in 2014 we're seeing that downward trend. And so far this year we've had 7 homicides in the city of Omaha, 7 too many. But I look back the last 10 years, and that's the least number of homicides that we've had in the city of Omaha going back 10 years for the first 1/3 of the year. So there's progress that's been made, and I wanted to note that. So why did we seek this increased rewards money? As a command staff, we viewed it as a missing piece of the puzzle as we address violent crime in our community in a well-rounded fashion. We felt it was needed to break a wall of silence that we have, to generate as much energy and freedom and make it as easy as possible for members of the community to step forward and say this will no longer be tolerated. So there are 3 areas where I feel the increased reward money makes a very strong statement. The first one is violent crime is not acceptable in our community. Going from 1,000 to 25,000 is a statement. It is a statement that violent crime will not be tolerated, and when it does, no matter where it occurs, it affects our entire city. 2, providing closure for victims and their families is a priority for the Omaha Police Department. I spoke with the victims' families earlier and had a few words for them in private. I really appreciate your attendance here today. The third area is just the preventative aspect. In the city of Omaha, we have very few repeat violent offenders that tend to drive our violent crime numbers. Very few. So the whole premise is, let's stop their actions the first time to prevent the second and third and the fourth. And lastly, the reward of this amount does make one think. If you're a gang member and you're going to load up in a car and go do a shooting, you have to ask yourself, how strong are my ties to everybody in this vehicle? Will this relationship last forever? Because at any point in time, somebody can place an anonymous call now to the Omaha Police Department and receive $25,000 for information that would lead to the arrest.